magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future unseen. Obstacles unseen. Shreem, Hreem, Kleem, Klaum, Gang, Ganapataye, Vara, Varada, Sarvajaname, Vasamanaya, Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignopashantaye. Shreem, Hreem, Kleem, Klaum, Gam, Ganapataye, Vara, Varada, Sarvajaname, Vasamanaya, Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurabhujam Prasannavadanam Jayed Sarva Vignopashantaye. Magical sounds will dissolve obstacles that lie in the future unseen. Obstacles unseen. Shreem, Hreem, Kleem, Klaum, Gam, Ganapataye, Vara, Varada, Sarvajaname, Vasamanaya, Swaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं
Hi, everyone. So I wanted to let you know that the video presentation that is about to play was pre-recorded because I was not able to be in a place today to do the presentation live. However, we are live streaming it, and I will be back on video after the one video plays to answer any questions and share in community and all of that good stuff. So now we'll hear and watch the presentation for the 3 steps and 3 steps to creating your new bright 2020.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's a very special day. We're setting ourselves up for the new year. The purpose of this webinar is to gear you towards making the most of the new year starting from day 1. And I will go through a 3-step process on how to clear out the old, create new, and then accelerate that manifestation. So typically the source of our happiness is dependent upon something we have or want. It's usually circumstantial, unfortunately. So for the purpose of this webinar, we're going to talk about how to create something that you really want in your life and how to get clear on what it is, what that is, so that you're able to manifest more quickly. There's a 3-step process to that. But you'll notice in life that oftentimes we want something or we think we want something and we're held back. Even if we are able to, let's say, take the steps to move that forward, it doesn't manifest. Or maybe we just forget about it and go on being reactive instead of proactive. Or maybe other people in our lives interfere and tell us, no, that's not what we should want or should have. And then we get sidetracked over there. So all of those components, everything that stops us from manifesting, is some aspect of fear or doubt or negativity or time that takes more time to manifest. And that can be boiled down to karma, right? Our karma, which comes from current life, past life, astrology, ancestors, all impacts what we think. Our brain literally functions and fuels based on our karmic patterns. And unfortunately, we end up living that life that is now more of a karma unfolding versus the proactiveness of creating something that we want that's new. Dr. Pillai's teachings are very much focused on how we can clear the past, clear those karmic imprints that we've taken with us from lifetime to lifetime, and start creating what we want, or at least what we think we want in this life. So his teachings go deep into the removal of karma. Karma is the cause of law and effect, right? So if you did something, then something will happen out of that. And as we've accumulated all of that from, like I said, past lives, this life, astrology, ancestors who are hanging around the ether, influencing us with their thoughts, that all brings us to our current state. Basically, if you want to know what your karma looks like, look around. It's your life, it's your relationships, it's your bank account, it's your house, it's your car, it's your spiritual progress. All of that is basically the patterns we've created. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just the result of what we've done in the past that's giving us right now. So the good news is that because the results that the actions we've taken in the past will give us the result that we have now. The good news is the actions we'll take every day going into our future will create more new results. And that's really what we want, right? That's what we want for the new year. We want to be embracing the miraculous consciousness, the consciousness that can break us out of our current patterns. Okay, so how do we do that? So there's different techniques on how to remove karma. I'm not going to get into those today, but I will walk us through a releasing exercise that will help to kind of unlatch some of that negativity or doubts or fears or whatever it is that you're holding on to. I do recommend other spiritual solutions that we have at the Pillai Center. And well, like I said, I'm not going to get into those at the moment. So the new year is a perfect time to do these exercises because we're coming to a juncture in time where we have the opportunity to reset based on the calendar, right? It's all psychological, but it helps because when everyone else in the world is focusing on like, what am I going to do for the new year? It helps us to actually ride the energy to also be wanting to create new. And if you notice, there is this whole vibration around the new year and how it can be different and what we can do. So we're going to tap into that and utilize that energy. For the purposes of this exercise, we're also coming to the end of a decade and moving into a new decade, which is also really, really powerful. Now, one of the things that you'll notice when you're wanting to manifest that some of the old and you're becoming conscious of what it is you want to release, you may notice that your old patterns will creep back in. This is totally normal. That's one of the reasons why we need accountability and consistency and commitment. So I'll get to that a little bit later in the webinar, but that's going to be a key component to your success. So let's go ahead and get started with this 3-step process. So first of all, like I said, I'm going to walk you through 3 steps. One is clearing the past, one is creating new, and one is accelerating what it is you want to create now by empowering it, infusing it with the mantra of Shreem Brzee, which is the mantra for anything life affirming, whether that's healthy, joy, health, relationships, prosperity, abundance of all kinds is what Shreem Brzee can give us. It is definitely one of my favorite mantras, and I've witnessed so many people have miraculous results. So we'll be using that. Okay, so you might want to get some pen and paper for this exercise. You can definitely listen to it again, but for the purposes of right now during this exercise, I'd like for you to pick one area of life. You can do it again with another area, but don't pick multiple while you're doing the technique now or this walkthrough, because it will divert and dilute your energy and your focus. That's really important that you stay aligned with the one area, one thing you really want to manifest, okay? So if you want, like I said, you want to write this down, be my guest. So one area of life. And I would pick the most important thing to you. Is it your finances? Is it your relationship? Is it your spiritual progress? Is it your health, right? Is it your career? So one area. Take a moment, think about that. What's the one area? Okay, now that you have your one area, you might have even written it down. Now think of the one thing, the biggest thing, there may be multiple, that prevents success, happiness, fulfillment in that particular area. What is it? Is it a way a thought pattern that you've noticed about yourself? Is it a fear? Is it feeling inadequate? Is it another person maybe telling you what you feel like you should or shouldn't do in this particular area? Identify what that is. Now, this is an unwanted pattern, right? And again, we're not making things wrong or right. We're just observing. We're observing what is here, and we're letting things, emotions, thoughts bubble up to the top. Okay, you want to just be in a state of ease right now. Don't try so hard. Just allow the thoughts to bubble. See what comes up. What is the one thing that's really holding you back? And I'm talking about this in terms of the new year, right? So we're really focusing on this new year ahead, this one area of life that you really want to nail, you really want to make progress in. And now what's that one thing that's really holding you back? Okay. And assume that you've gotten it. We'll go to the next phase. Now that you know what this one thing is that's holding you back in the area of life that's most important to you right now, I want you to visualize it. If you can see it in words, see it in words. If you can visualize it as an object, do that. So you're visualizing, kind of using the senses of the eyes. Okay, so you know what it looks like. Now feel it, and feel it in whatever part of your body that reacts when you think of this particular thing. Is it your heart center? Is it your brain, your mind? Is it your throat? Is it your gut? What part of your body reacts when you feel into this pattern? What emotions does it stir up? Okay, now that you've gotten that, I want you to acknowledge it. Like, oh, okay, you're there. You've been a part of me for my life or however long. You don't want to make it wrong. You don't want to feel badly. You don't want to apply shame or anger or blame, because those negative emotions block our manifestation process. We don't want to do that. It's kind of like an arm, right? Or a leg or hair. It's something that we have. It's been with us. We've worked with it, and it's worked against us, or whatever it is, but it's just here and we accept it. So we're accepting this pattern that's been in our lives. Okay, you can feel that shift. Here it is. Now that we've named it, owned it, accepted it, we can release it. We don't need to hold on to it. We don't need to blame it. We don't need to feel shameful or angry. Oh, you've been part of me. Okay. Now I'm going to let you go. Do that again. Now I'm going to let you go. And breathe out. Now I'm going to let you go. And you're releasing. You're releasing. So that's releasing. You want to release it from a part of the body. Just untense, untangle the part of the body you felt it in. Breathe into that part, allowing that energy to dissipate and release. The outward breath makes the body know and feel it's safe. Now, remember we visualized it, so that's the feeling part. So we're releasing the feeling. And you can do this as long as you need. Sometimes it takes time. That's okay. And then remember we did the visualizing. So again, I want you to visualize it. What does it look like? Whether it's a word or an object or whatever. Visualize it. Now, as you see that word or that object, whatever it is that visual is, I want you to dissolve it. However works for you. Maybe you burn it. Maybe it melts like a piece of ice. Maybe it just disappears into the air. Just dissolve it. You're dissolving, you're dissolving, you're dissolving. And as you dissolve and as you release, you're able to feel your body and your mind feel lighter. You're giving it over to God. You're releasing this part that isn't serving you. You're allowing the divine to interfere on your behalf. Now that you've allowed the divine to interfere on your behalf and you've released the patterns that are holding back your manifestations, the next step is to create. And in order to create, you have to get clear. So clear is being focused. Interestingly enough, the name Lakshmi, the goddess behind Shreem Brzee, her name means aim or goal. And what we need to do in order to manifest is to get really clear on what it is we want. So that's what we'll do in this step 2. So we had identified the area of life you came in with for this process. We cleared out what we feel is holding back the manifestations in that particular area of life. Now I want you to hone in on what it is you want to manifest by getting clear about it. So let's figure out details. Maybe you picked money. Maybe you picked relationships. If you picked money, how much would it be? And it doesn't even have to be a dollar amount. It could actually be the amount that makes you feel a certain way. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's being able to not have to worry, being able to pay all your bills in a month and have extra to go on vacation, right? So there's no wrong or right. This is your manifestation. This is what you want to create. It's 100% up to you. There's no guidelines here and other than getting specific. And like I said, it can be a dollar amount specific, like, oh, I want $100,000 in my bank, or I want, $2 million in my savings, whatever it is. Or it can be, so it's like the number factor, or it can be like a fulfillment / happiness factor. Like, oh, well, if I feel like I don't have to worry, then that's my specific, that's how I'm going to get specific about what it is I want to manifest, right? So, or maybe it's, I want to be able to give a certain amount to charity. Okay, so for the money part, I hope that makes sense. We have a few different ways that you can get clear on it. Let's say relationship, for example. You can just say, I want good relationships, but that's not very specific. What I would prefer you to say and invite you to say or create and get clear on is, how do you want your relationships to look? And it could be a particular relationship with one person. It could be your general relationships. Maybe you want to have freedom in your relationships. Maybe you want to feel totally loved and adored. Maybe you want to be able to give to someone the same type of feelings and support that you want to receive, right? Let's say it's a partnership. You want to be able to feel safe, loved, and I don't know, whatever else, right? What I'm saying is, get specific on how it looks, what it feels like. Any manifestation we go through, it's the same thing. How does it look? What does it feel like? When you put yourself inside of it and generate those emotions. We'll go through that process, but in the process of getting specific, that's what I want you to do, because once you hit upon things that help you get more clear, it's much easier to hit that milestone. Health, for example. How do you want to feel within your body? Very specifically, is there, maybe there's a disease you want to clear out, or there's ailments in your body you want to clear, or maybe you simply want to feel better in your body. You want to gain muscle and lose fat. Maybe you want to, be able to run a marathon, right? Be specific about what it is you want to create. And again, this is just for this year. It's not forever. You just pick something that you really want to commit to in this 1 year that you're wanting to manifest. Okay? Spiritual progress is another one of the areas of life we talked about. So do you want to be able to sit and meditate for a certain amount of time? Do you want to have certain types of spiritual experiences? Do you want to take trips to places like India to be able to have experiences in places in power vortexes? Okay, just getting specific on what it is you want. So let's walk through it. You have your thing. Okay, what's your thing? Now, think about that particular thing, for lack of a better word, manifestation, situation in your life right now. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Who's there? Maybe no one's there. Maybe it's just you. Where are you? Build the entire picture of your manifestation. Remember, this is the key. This is what you'll be building upon. This is what you'll be using as your manifestation process. So what does it look like? Where are you? Who are you with? And now, what does it feel like? Maybe where in your body does it incite or create a certain feeling? And if you can name that feeling, what would it be? And if you can name that feeling, I would like for you to write that down if you can right now. Because that's going to be a key for you to tap into that emotion, that feeling. passion and emotion helps us to create, helps us to manifest. Be inside of it. Step inside. It has already happened. Just step inside of it. You're seeing it, you're feeling it, you're tasting it, you're smelling it. It is all around you. Oh, how does it feel in your chest? Does it bring you joy? Does it bring you freedom? Do you feel full of love for this thing, for this creation, for this situation? But remember, getting specific. If it's a relationship, what does it look like? If it's money or finances, what does it look like? So tying in the situation with the feeling that it is created when you're inside of this situation. That's key. Okay. Hopefully you've gotten there. If not, you can come back to the exercise and do it again. Now that we have identified the specific nature of what it is we want to manifest, now we're going to do a little guided meditation to infuse our manifestation with Shreem Brzee. The Shreem Brzee mantra brings life, it brings creation. It brings thoughts into manifestation, into physical, into like birthing. Dr. Pillai says Brzee is birthing the manifestation. Shreem is all life affirming. Okay, so go ahead, get into your comfortable place if you need to. Gently close your eyes, taking a deep breath in through the nostrils, out through the mouth. Settling into your space, keeping your back as straight as possible while still being comfortable. Now begin to visualize the manifestation that we just identified. You can hear it, you can see it, you can smell it. It's all around you. You can taste it. This manifestation is bringing you a certain feeling. Notice what that is. Feel the excitement, the joy, the fulfillment of being inside of this situation. It is existing right now. It's not in the future. It is right now. You're retraining your neurons to know and believe that this is all already happened. This is your experience. Hold this image in your mind's eye. You're visualizing, you're feeling, you're sensing, all of that. Now bring it in to the third eye. Right here. Visualizing, sensing, feeling. Now while you're holding the image in the third eye, we're going to begin to chant Shreem Brzee into the third eye to empower, accelerate, fuel the manifestation process with the divine feminine energy of Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee is the goddess who brings us inner and outer wealth. So you can cover all your manifestations. So focusing in on the third eye, visualizing your manifestation, feeling it, loving it, experiencing it. Begin to chant Shreem Brzee into the third eye. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem visualize, feel, emotionalize, experience the manifestation. Feel the joy it brings you. Feel the fulfillment it brings you. Feel how happy you are that this situation has already existed. It already exists in your life. It is manifest. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee is manifesting your goals. Shreem Brzee is giving you focus. Shreem Brzee is empowering you. It's enlivening your third eye. Shreem Brzee is giving you focus. Shreem Brzee is giving you clarity. Shreem Brzee is infusing you with energy and power. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Feel the vibration through the third eye, now expanding out through the whole head and face. Your whole head's vibrating with Shreem Brzee. You're continuing to feel the manifestation, visualize the manifestation. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee is expanding from the third eye to the face, to the head, down into your neck, your shoulders, your torso, and into your heart. Shreem Brzee is taking root into your heart center. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee is expanding from the heart into the chest, down the arms, to your hands. You're feeling tingling of Shreem Brzee in the palms of your hands. Shreem Brzee expands down into your torso, into your gut. Feel Shreem Brzee at your navel center. You're in the gut. That's where she, this beautiful goddess, can take root and begin to manifest even more for you. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. You're continuing to feel and visualize your manifestation. You're inside of it. You're infusing it and empowering it and fueling your manifestation with Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Feel Shreem Brzee expand from the navel center down into the rest of the torso and the legs, down to your feet. You're feeling Shreem Brzee vibrate through every cell in the body. She is enlivening you. She is giving you purpose. She is giving you power. She's giving you clarity. She's removing any negativity. She's removing the old patterns. She's embodying you. She is allowing your energy to be replaced with her energy so that she can bring you more success quickly. She can enable you to manifest with ease. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Feel the vibration through the entire body. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Feel the vibration through the entire body. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Continue to feel the vibration. Now release your manifestation. Let it go. Let it go into the ether. Release it. not being attached. Now we ask the divine, the Shreem Brzee goddess, please give us what's best for us. Please bring us what is best and highest good for ourselves and others. We may know or think we want this particular manifestation we just focused on, but we trust you, goddess, to give us what is best. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, come back to your body, and ending the meditation. Slowly come back to yourself. Welcome back from the experience, the meditation. So feel free to do that technique as often as you like. I'm going to now give you some tips on what you can do to move this practice forward. What's really important is consistency and continuity. We can do this exercise once, but if we don't hold on to what it is we just created, it'll go. You have to continue to feed this manifestation in order for it to come alive, in order for it to come into existence in our lives, right? Dr. Pillai says the only time that Shreem Brzee doesn't work is when you forget to use it. So we don't want to forget. That's really important. So what's important is doing this technique, doing it consistently. Okay, so here's what your daily practice can look like going into the new year. First of all, write your manifestation. Whatever we did just now, writing it down. I would also include, so that the actual situation, the very specific nature of what it is we focused on today, write that down. Also write how it feels, what emotions get triggered, because you'll want to continue to tap into those emotions. Okay. Also, you can write Shreem Brzee. So you write your manifestation and then write Shreem Brzee. You can write as many times as you want. 1, 9, 108 times, right? It's up to you. So write your manifestation every day. I'd rather you do it consistently every day and less than try to go big and then fall short and then not do anything. Okay. Then the second thing I want you to do throughout the day is dream up your dream. Like just daydream what we just did. What does your manifestation look like? What does it feel like? How does it make you feel? Just if you're driving home from work or washing the dishes, be dreaming up and thinking about and feeling the emotion of your manifestation. That is going to trigger the manifestation process. It's really simple. As soon as you are sure of what it is you want, you infuse it with a powerful emotion. On top of that, you use the mantra. It is a manifestation formula. It always works for me. Okay, next thing, chanting the mantra. So chant Shreem Brzee every day as much as you can. I just chant it throughout the day. I don't even count anymore. You can, if you want to make sure you're getting into a practice count, use a rosary or a mala beads, count 108 times. It's very quick because it's a very short mantra. You can write it, you can chant it out loud, you can chant it inwardly. You can sit in the meditation and do what we just did, right? So step 4, I should say, or point number 4 is to sit and do the meditation, what we just did. Dreaming up the dream, visualizing it, feeling it, and then sitting and chanting the Shreem Brzee into this to the creative process to empower and fuel your manifestation. So those are 4 things. Write your goal and write Shreem Brzee. Any time of the day. Mornings are great, kind of sets you up, but if you can't do it in the morning, any time is good. Dream up your daydream every day, anytime, anywhere. That's not sitting, right? That's not a sitting meditation. That's just daydreaming and feeling and chanting just daydreaming and feeling into your manifestation. Number 3 is chanting Shreem Brzee as much as you can throughout the day. Number 4 is to sit and do your meditation like we just did, so that you're really getting into it and really feeling the manifestation as well as the mantra. So those are your 3 parts of your daily practice that you can incorporate starting the new year. Now, like I said, accountability consistency and commitment is really, really important. So you might need some accountability. What does that look like? Finding a friend that you might want to do this with, being accountable on a daily basis, maybe checking in, hey, I did my mantras, or I did my manifestation, or I did my meditation, or join one of our Facebook groups and be accountable there. Or Dr. Pillai is doing a meditation program that you could join as well. I'll tell you more about that later. But consistency is key. It doesn't work if you don't do it. It's as easy as that. Now, an additional step, not in the whole plan, is to actually take action steps towards what it is you want. We did the creative process. We did the energy of it. And that is a huge part. But if you are only focusing on that and then you're not maybe taking some actions, or if you're looking for a job, not even telling your friends or putting out your resume, it's may not as quickly manifest for you. I have several examples of my own manifestations where I was doing both. I was doing the creative visualization, I was doing the meditations, the mantras, and then I was also taking action, like buying a house, for example. A house didn't just pop into my life. I contacted a realtor. I made sure I got, my funding in place. But then using the manifestation techniques happened to make that go way easier, got a much better deal than I thought. It was just, everything worked a great mortgage rate, fantastic price on the house. Like, it just made it so much better. But I still had to do some of the work, right? So don't leave the work out of the picture. Dr. Pillai is a very practical teacher, a very practical guru. He wants us to be in both worlds, the spiritual world where we're manifesting, and also in the practical, the physical world where we're taking action and helping to accelerate that manifestation through being practical and doing what needs to be done on the earth plane. Okay, so make sure that you are doing that as well. So why do I want you to do this? I want you to do this because I want the world to be a better place. And each one of us makes the world a better place by being happier, more fulfilled, and raising our vibration. If you're happy and you're meditating and you're like having desires fulfilled, or just being more joyful, which isn't just, it's a lot to be more, you can't put a price tag on that. To be more joyful because you're meditating, you're chanting Shreem Brzee, or you're manifesting in your life, that raises your vibration. Guess what? That impacts not only yourself, but everyone around you. And then those people impact other people. We literally change the world by changing ourselves. So I want you to implement these techniques and these practices because I want us all to live in a world that the vibration is raised so high that the negativity, the greed, the doubt, the fears can't get to us any longer. So we actually can build that force field. So that's my inspiration for doing this, and for hopefully having you do it as well. So I mentioned accountability, why this is so important. And if you want to have your manifestation infused even more with empowerment and have accountability for 31 days, Dr. Pillai just recorded a new New Year program. It's called Awaken Your Soul, or Awakened Soul. And I was there when he recorded it. It was basically like channeled from the divine. And he was in Tiruvannamalai, in front of Arunachala, the mountain of fire, Shiva in the form of the mountain of fire. He used 3 different mantras, kind of came through him for the purpose of the program is to empower the brain, the body, the mind, the soul, and awaken the soul. That's what he talks about. 3 different mantras, one kind of long-ish, not long, but one meditation that kind of goes through phases in terms of cleaning up the mind, the brain, the body, and the soul to allow us to manifest more easily and bring an empowerment to our life, to our existence. And I'm really inspired about this technique, about these teachings. Dr. Pillai says that 2020 is the year of miracles. And I have no doubt about that. So we are starting this particular program on January 1st, 2020. We'll be airing it with a live group call to listen to Dr. Pillai deliver the seminar. And then we'll have group discussions, and we'll have weekly calls thereafter. to come together as community. We'll have a private Facebook group. Again, accountability is so important. We are also going to have 31 days of emails, things that can be inspiring to you that allow you to check in every day with a daily message and something inspiring and motivating from the program. So 31 days of immersing yourself in this program, weekly calls with teachers, including an additional, so there's actually 5 calls with teachers. Then there's one level of the program where you can engage with Western rituals, Western fire lab. So a part of this program is geared around the sun, the power of the sun, Dr. Pillai talks about. So we're doing Sunday, sunrise, fire labs to help empower the brain. And then we'll have a full moon, Shreem Brzee, fire lab, a new moon, Tarpanam, guided Tarpanam offering to appease your ancestors, and an Anuradha star day, chanting and offerings to Vishwamitra and Brzee, since Lakshmi and Vishwamitra apparently have the same birth star, which is Anuradha day. So there's 7 in that particular phase or version of the program. There's going to be 7 kind of Western rituals that you can participate in. They're all guided by Westerners via video conference, so you'll be able to watch and learn and kind of participate along. What else did I want to say about that? The program is incredible. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'll be hosting the January 1st seminar and or hosting the viewing, live airing of the seminar with Dr. Pillai. And yeah, there's just so many nuggets in here. I'm really excited. So if you're interested in that, you're welcome to join there too. And I just want to thank you for joining this webinar and doing amazing things in the next decade. Look, we're ending a decade. We're starting a new one. 2020 is here. It's going to set us up for a whole new decade of life-affirming manifestations. And we can do that. We can do that with the help and support of Shreem Brzee and all of the amazing teachings from Dr. Pillai and the Pillai Center. So I hope that you continue your practice. I hope you use what you learned today. I hope that we raise our vibration and create a new world for everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. You just watched our live, or not entirely live, but pre-recorded video. And now I want to answer any questions you may have about what I taught and the new program. So I'll be looking at chat. Let's see, go ahead and write your questions. There's a question about what to write. So what you want to write is your goal, whatever that is. So we hopefully went through that pretty thoroughly in this session. And then you also want to write Shreem Brzee, S-H-R-E-E-M, Brzee, B-R-Z-E-E. So that's what you want to write when you're doing your daily kind of what I mentioned, hopefully in the morning or anytime throughout the day, writing daily what it is you want to manifest, as well as the mantra, and the mantra is Shreem Brzee. You can also write just Brzee if that is more appealing to you. Dr. Pillai talked about those 2 separate mantras, and whichever one works best for you is what's best for you. Go ahead and write any other questions. Let's see if there's any one. So if you go ahead in the chat, and I can't see, let me see if I can see this. Someone's mentioning I have some childhood traumas preventing me from manifesting. How do I clear those? So one of the things I didn't mention in this video, which I would like to add, is that Tirunelakantam is the mantra for releasing bad karma, right? Anything that you don't want to take with you, it can heal, it can release. So as you're doing that release exercise that we did, you can also be chanting Tirunelakantam at the throat, throughout the whole body, inside of the visualization that we did to identify that particular thing that's holding you back, that particular karmic pattern. So there's a question about the online program, and yes, those are video calls every weekend with teachers where we will be breaking down what Dr. Pillai taught. And there's so much new and great content in it. And like I said, I'm really excited about it. So every week the teachers will break down really what Dr. Pillai is teaching and give assignments. It's all completely guided. There's so much accountability in that. There'll be a Facebook group. The communities always really come together so powerfully and positively during these programs, especially when they're guided live. So on January 1st, I'll be doing the first call, which is basically we're going to watch Dr. Pillai's session together, and then I'll break down kind of how the rest of the month will go. And then either myself or other teachers will be involved every weekend. I'm also really excited about the Western rituals because you'll be able to participate along in a sense with the facilitators who are guiding them. So whether it's so the chanting calls, for example, we'll be making flower offerings to the Lakshmi, the goddess, as well as Vishwamitra on Anuradha Day. We'll be doing Sunday fire labs, and we'll teach you the little technique that Dr. Pillai taught last Guru Purnima on how to do a really simple fire lab at home, which basically involves a dropper of ghee and a candle. So you'll learn that technique and you'll be able to do it along. The experience of the rituals is so rich because you're actually participating real time with a community around the world, which makes it so much more impactful. So that's why we put these in, so that you wouldn't have just the teachings, you actually have an additional support system with the guided and interactive ceremonies. And then in level 3 of the program, if you click on the link somewhere, you'll get to that page. There's level 3 of the program, which also includes rituals done for you in India. So that's really the maximum benefit, where we try to provide everything that would really help jumpstart your new year. So we want you to do this exercise that I walk through, and we also want you to go to the next step. Like, how can you support yourself best for setting yourself up for not just 2020, but the entire decade that we're moving into, because it's a really important time, and how you start things matters, right? You know that, like, if you haven't started something powerfully, it kind of like doesn't have the momentum to carry through. So let's start this year and this decade in the most positive and powerful way we possibly can. And that's why Dr. Pillai did this video for you. He the story behind the video in the seminar, basically was giving a short talk to a few people, and I was there, and he was like, you really have to set goals for yourself for this year. You know, I want you to be really clear on them. And he gave us a few guidelines, which is what I've given now, which is make sure you have your financial goals really clear. He was pretty particular about financial goals in that talk that he gave. So you need to be really clear on what it is you want to manifest. And then he even said, send it, when he said, send it to somebody, right? So again, that's why I said accountability. It's not, and this person has to be someone you trust. You can't send your, your goals to someone who may not send you any good energy in response. So accountability is real important with someone who cares about you and wants to support you. So he said, send them to somebody, and then follow them up, right? Like, we can't just create something one day and then forget about it, right? It takes a continuation, which is why in the session I said you have to continue. So that's why we want you to start this 31-day program. So anyway, back to the story with Dr. Pillai. So he was saying all of these things. He said, get clear on your financial goals, send them to someone for accountability,
make sure you're following up on them. And then he said, you know what, I should say this to everybody. I should make a New Year program. And he did, but he didn't actually say those things in it, because when he gets guided to do a seminar, he's usually in a very high state and he's not being very grounded in the sense of practicality. So that's why we have put that into the program. And that's why, since I was there originally when he talked about the very practical application of doing your goals, that's why I'm putting that into the program, because it is from him, but he didn't say it during the teaching. He was in a very high state. In fact, he was sitting right in front of Arunachala, the mountain of fire, and it was just, the energy was just flooding through him, and delivered this amazing content and meditation. Like, really, it's really literally out of this world. So you're going to love it. So now the program's a beautiful combination of practical application and this really high spiritual teaching. So that's why we want you to really make the most, putting your best foot forward, doing all that you can to enliven and empower your new year. So there's a question about the cost. So it's $45 for the basic program, which is the course which gives you access to the whole course for your whole lifetime, and the 31 days of emails and the Facebook group. Everything that is involved in just the course. The level 2 on the program is with the guided Western rituals. Level 3 on the program is with the Indian rituals as well. So level 1, program only, which 31 days, all the course material, the Facebook group for community and accountability. Level 2, the course plus the 7 live guided rituals with Westerners. Level 3, the course plus the rituals, the Western rituals, plus the Indian rituals that are done on your behalf. I don't remember actually the level 2 and 3 cost. It'll be on the sales page though, if you go there. All right, let's see what else is there. Someone's asking an interesting question. They're saying that they're a homosexual man, and how do they manifest a compatible guy? It's like anything else. There's not a difference in the sense that because you have a certain orientation that you're a manifestation, that the technique wouldn't work for you. These techniques and what Dr. Pillai teaches, the mantras, the meditations, and what I just walked through, this guided 3 steps, is all about your soul reacting and wanting to manifest. So it doesn't matter your orientation, as long as you are clear with what it is you want, and you can bring joy and empowerment through a mantra to it, then you can manifest. Now, if you have issues with your orientation, you will most likely be blocking the manifestation of anything good. And that doesn't have to do only with sexual orientation. That can be your financial orientation. I'm not worthy of having X amount of dollars. So if your orientation towards yourself is not in check and is not authentic, then it will block your manifestation. But be very clear, that has nothing to do with the techniques, the mantras, or this 3-step process I just went through. That has to do with how clear we are with getting to the space where we're able to clear out and manifest new. And if you're having blocks, that's what this 3-step process is about, right? Being able to first clear it out. Trick here is you need to know what that is. You need to be able to identify what that block looks like. And if you cannot, which a lot of people cannot, and that's okay, that's where you want to go back to the mantra, Tirunilakantam. Chant that as much as you can, especially at sunset every single day, so that it can start to unravel karmic patterns that you don't even know is there. That's one mantra. Shreem Brzee, or Brzee specifically, can also unravel karmic patterns that you don't even know are there. It'll impact the soul level. So both of those mantras can significantly shift how you're feeling, what thoughts are coming to you, but you have to be consistent. That is what is so important here. You cannot chant this mantra a few times and then just say it doesn't work. I mean, you can, but then what's the point? You want to be able to have results. Results take time and patience and commitment. Someone wants to rewatch. Yes, absolutely. Once we're finished with the webinar and close it out, it takes some time to process, and then it'll be available to rewatch. No problem there. Any other questions? Michaeline is asking, we have similar remedies in other programs. If there are duplicate remedies, then you can just purchase the program level 1 only, or the program level 2, which is the Western remedies, because those aren't in any other program, except for those aren't in the Sunday Fire Labs, the Full Moon Fire Labs are not included in any other programs. So you could do level 1 or level 2 if you're in other programs, because, for example, the rituals that get done for you in India are karma removal prayers, the monthly Shreem Brzee Full Moon Fire Lab at the Brzee Center, and an individual Anurata Vishwamitra Fire Lab. You won't most likely be having the individual Anurata Fire Lab, but if you're in another program, you may have the karma removal techniques, or you may have the Full Moon Shreem Brzee Fire Lab that happens at the Brzee Center, Prayer Center. That individual Fire Lab on its own would cost $139, I believe. So even if you have those others as duplicate and you want the individual one, it's still a deal, because if you get level 3, it includes, I'm looking at the prices now. So level 2 is $137, and level 3 is $245. So if you add up 137 and 139, that's what, $280. So if you are in another program and you have the karma removal Indian remedies and the Shreem Brzee and the Brzee ritual, you're still getting $40 off of an individual Vishwamitra Anurata Star Day Fire Lab. So it's still a deal, and you would just have double those other remedies. I hope that makes sense. We packaged it so that if you wanted to kind of go up to level 3, you would have something unique, which is the individual Fire Lab. Okay, let's see. Other questions? Ooh, okay, so there's a question. Gina, when you said weekend, it is Saturday or Sunday or both for January. These are, when are they? I don't actually know right now. Sorry. I should know that. I think we were working out the schedule because there's so many other calls going on. Okay. Question. Did you see my question about a goal for the collective consciousness and praying for all to fall in love with Earth and take actions before it's too late? How do you visualize a collective goal? You visualize it however you imagine that to look. So you have it. This person is asking that they have a goal for a collective consciousness prayer to fall in love with the Earth and take action before it's too late. So basically a prayer for the Earth, preserving the Earth. How do you visualize a collective goal? How do you want that to look? You must have an idea of how that would look, because you have an intention behind it. You have a desire for it. So does that look for you that all people are conscious and aware and being wise about how they use products and how they dispose of products, or how they drive a car, how they act? So you will visualize very specifically what that goal looks like for you. Right? I can already visualize it. So everyone is recycling and drinking out of, straws that are reusable. People are driving hybrid cars, right? Like governments around the world are coming together to put into place protection for the Earth. So however it looks for you is how you would want your manifestation to be visualized. Question, is it only on January weekends? Yes, so the live calls will be on the weekends in January. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday. I know we had some scheduling conflicts and we were looking into what was going to work best. But those will all be recorded and on replay. And then the Facebook group is alive, that you have access to that 24/7. Support people are in there answering questions. And we'll even be posting the 31 days of inspiration on the Facebook group as well. So you'll be getting it within your email as well as on the Facebook group. Okay, someone said in the Brzee extension program, is this compatible? Yes, it's a different technique. And because we are going to it's a New Year specific technique, I'll be doing it. I'll be doing both programs, actually, the Brzee extension as well as this one, because Dr. Pillai is putting his focus on this particular program for the purpose of the new year. I feel like we don't want to miss this 1 month of immersion into this new teaching. He's talking about rewiring the brain basically in this program and using these particular mantras and techniques to shift how your brain works, to rework the neurons so that we can think better, be more empowered. And then he enlivens the brain, the body, and the soul with 3 different mantras. So it's a very unique program. And yes, it's compatible with Brzee extension. Okay, there's a question, is Goddess Trio chant better than only Shreem Brzee, which is better? Again, I feel like it has to do with your personal preference. Some people enjoy Shreem Brzee, some people enjoy Brzee, some people are into the Goddess Trio, some people just wanted to kind of talk to you and be with Varahi, which is a new goddess Dr. Pillai had kind of given us a few months ago. I get into kicks. Like sometimes I'm all about the Goddess Trio. I just get it stuck in my head and it feels so soothing. But I'm a Shreem Brzee diehard. So I always go back to Brzee or Shreem Brzee. It's just where I feel comfortable and where I feel most empowered. So it's really up to you. I feel that Dr. Pillai gives us a variety of techniques, mantras, archetypes, so that we have a call, so that whatever our calling is can be fulfilled through one of them. There's no right or wrong. Whichever one calls most powerfully to you, that you can align with, then that's what you want to stick with. Yeah, I apologize, guys. I can't see all of the whole chat roll, so just repost your question if I did not answer it. I'll go over to YouTube. Okay, I don't see anything new on YouTube. Any new questions in chat? So like I said, so there's this link at the bottom that says Awakened Soul Program. If you are interested, you click there and that's where you can join the program or find out more about it. And we're going to leave the program open past January 1st. So you can, like if you need funds, let's wait till like the first week, you can join after, because I know it's holidays and people are probably spending a lot of money. But if you want to start on January 1st, you'll want to join by December 31st. And that's when all your rituals will start. So ideally you start in pay by December 31st so that you get everything in January. But if you don't have the funds, we're leaving it open so that you can join when you do. There's some really nice hosts here. Michael, I'm so fortunate to have met Dr. Pillai and team. I got this good feeling about participating. What a blessing. You can't get it in church. Thank you for your positive energy. Okay, there's a question. Sometimes I feel anxious and the thought that what if it won't happen comes. While during this practice, how do I overcome this? This is a really good question because I think that a lot of people have that. So thank you for asking. I've had it too, right? And the trick to this is to release that anxiety or that fear. When we have the anxiety and fear about something not happening, we're pretty darn attached to it happening. And the attachment to something happening oftentimes prevents it from happening. Ironic, I know, right? Because we want it so badly, we get so attached. This is how I like to visualize it. If you're holding on to something, I don't have anything nearby, but if you're holding on to something, you're gripping it, right? And you're just like all the energy, and it's like this force field around it. But when you open it and release it, you're still holding it. You still have it. There's a difference between the surrendered aspect of having and the ego-driven aspect of making it happen or having it to happen for a particular reason or for your own good or whatever reason is behind this, that you're attached to it. That's where you want to be able to hold it in an open hand. That may be a little too esoteric for you to help you. However, if that helps, then use that, because we do want to have the holding versus the holding. Okay. Now, another thing that I've done when fears and doubts and anxiety come around the manifestation process is to instead visualize and experience having that with joy. Now, it doesn't have to be real to you in the sense that maybe you still somewhere are feeling some, like, in the back of your head, you're kind of still feeling some anxiety. But if you can shift that and think and just playground, like this is like the manifestation is like your playground. This is where you step in and you're like, it's just me and my thoughts right now and these techniques. There's no reality, right? There's no things other than what you can dream up. And if you can dream it up and feel it and infuse it with a mantra, then you can pretty much create it. That has been my experiences. I'll give you an example. Over the summer, I was trying to sell a house. I was getting so anxious around it because it was costing me so much money. Every day that went by, I was costing me money. I was concerned I wasn't going to sell it. And so like, I would feel like literally like, oh, like I would just kind of, the anxiety and the stress kind of gripped me when I thought about it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I am not manifesting anything in this state of being constricted. The only thing you're manifesting is more of this. Okay. So like, we really need to not be more of this. And how do we get out of this? Okay. Shift into what it is you want. Oh, well, not so much I don't want, like, I don't want to keep this house because it's costing me money. And then I started visualizing, oh my gosh, what it'll be like sitting at the closing table. Oh my gosh, I'll be so happy. The person purchasing it will be so happy. I'll be so relieved. And then I just started visualizing and feeling this joy around that manifestation. Do you know that within a month of me, I tried to sell this house for 1.5 years, no lie, within anxiety and stress and fear and financial constraint and all the things that don't help. That's what I was hitting my head up against, right? You think I'd know better by now. I didn't. Within a month of me shifting from my fear and anxiety to my joy, and then I just had to stop thinking about any financial fear. Like the financial situation existed. My financial fear and anxiety about it stopped existing. What started existing for me in my heart, in my body, in my mind, was that the joy of having the manifestation occur in a way that I felt relief and joy and happiness. And I mean, I would literally daydream just thinking about what it was like to sit at that signing, the closing table and signing those documents. And do you know that physically happened? I went to the particular lawyer's place and sat at that particular table and signed those documents. And I just thought back, yeah, this is what manifestation is. So I know that was a little long response, but it's so important because that's what we do a lot. And I wanted to give you my example because I'm no different, right? Like I've been through this process. I've been studying with Dr. Pillai for 20 years, and I still had this example that just I couldn't get out of for over 1 year until I was able to shift my mindset. And I know it's not, my point also is I know it's not easy, but once you do, that's your ride. Okay, Other questions? Again, please post any new questions I didn't see in the chat. So question, why doesn't Dr. Pillai have programs in India and charge us cheaper? He does. Actually, when you're in India, your pricing is lower than USD. So we do factor that in, and that's a very important part of Dr. Pillai's commitment to the Indian community. Yes, and Michael also has a point here that Tripura Foundation primarily operates in India to help and serve the poor. Oh, good. So someone's trying to sell their house, and I gave that example, so I'm good. I'm glad that that helped you. It was so visceral, and because it was so recent, I just, oh my gosh, it's such a great lesson for me, that whole experience. Okay, yeah, please post any other questions. I wanted to also give you a preview of what's going to start happening in 2020. So we're so excited. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I want to just give a little information. So Pillai Center has some really great, amazing things planned for 2020. Soon we'll be releasing, most of you probably already know about Dr. Pillai's birthday trip. If you haven't registered and are interested, please write us and let us know if you need an extended payment plan or things like that. We'll do the best we can. We cannot guarantee that we'll be able to honor it, but just write us and let us know what you need, and we'll do what we can. For those of you who aren't going to be going, we'll be releasing a proxy program soon. So that's exciting. Your little yantra will be going around to all the power spots. And then in February 1st, a tentative date, but that's our plan, we'll be releasing a new free weekly class, which will have different topics throughout the months that pretty much align with power times, archetypes. We'll be teaching everything from like basic teachings to a little bit more advanced stuff from Dr. Pillai. And those are all free, and those will be weekly classes or shows like on YouTube. So stay tuned for those. I will be starting a Shreem Brzee weekly podcast / class that I will be sharing as well. I have to find out when I can start with my schedule, but it'll be as soon as possible in January, and we'll be getting that set up as well. So I'm very excited about that. Those of you who already are in the the Brzee extension program, if you still want to join, I think today was the last day, but if you needed more time, just let me know. And we'll be starting the new mystery school and a new miracle school on March 1st. So that's a little bit about that. And then most likely another Brzee program sometime in May. So a little setup for the next few months. Oh, and Dr. Pillai did agree to doing Guru Purnima live in San Diego this year. And Guru Purnima this year falls on the weekend of July 4th. As soon as we have a room confirmed in San Diego, we will be sending that information out so that you have lots of time to save and plan for that trip. So a little preview about what we've been doing at Pillai Center, and we'll be announcing all of those as soon as they are official. Okay, questions? I think, Michael, that is a statement versus a question, but let me know otherwise. Any other questions? Okay, someone's asking on YouTube about our Kara benefits. I also love this mantra. It's probably I don't know, it's one of my top few mantras. I just feel that it's really powerful, and it's what Dr. Pillai calls the impossibility buster mantra. And you can use if you feel more aligned with Arakara instead of Shreem Brzee, then you can use that. When we did the 3 steps, and it was for your manifestation portion of the 3 steps, you can use Arakara to do that instead of Shreem Brzee. So it's a really powerful mantra. Someone's asking, do you need an initiation to chant Shreem Brzee? No, you do not. It is something that we have offered. In fact, something that you can get in Dr. Pillai's presence, or I've done in-person touch Shreem Brzee initiations, which is always really high and really fun. I don't always do them, but if I'm having an in-person event, I do make them available, but it's not necessary. Everyone in the world can and should chant Shreem Brzee. You can also give it to your friends and tell them to do it, but just make sure it's correct. Make sure you're giving the correct pronunciation and the correct spelling, because we don't want people doing the incorrect technique. Best to always just point them to the video with Dr. Pillai where he is repeating it. His voice repeating the mantra is more powerful because that's what, because it's coming from him. He was given the initiation, in a sense, from Vishwamitra. It's passed down through Vishwamitra to Dr. Pillai, so it's most potent in his voice. So that's how you want to use it, and that's how you want to pass it on to others. Another thing that Dr. Pillai most recently said is to have Shreem Brzee playing in your house or your space 24/7. He said that it fills the air. It'll fill the air with Shreem Brzee. So if you have it on a phone or any type of player, just put it on repeat. You can put it on as low as you want. I have mine on really low, so at night it doesn't disturb my sleep, but it's still playing. My consciousness can absorb it. And during the day, I put it a little higher, but still not so that it's distracting, but more that it's just underlying, always there. So then it's just constantly going. And then I noticed, because it's a pattern, it's like Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Like when you hear Dr. Pillai doing it, he does it in a kind of, it's just the way the way he speaks it then kind of becomes part of the way I remember it. And I just continue to hear it throughout the day, even when I'm not around it, which is really cool. So another insider tip from Dr. Pillai, which he said recently, is to play Shreem Brzee in your environment 24/7. And everyone can do that. That's free, right? Like, so I don't want anyone to get concerned if they can't join a program or can't pay for a program. We just gave a 40-minute free webinar on how to set yourself up for 2020. There's the free programs that we have. There's a Shreem Brzee free program. There's all the Facebook groups that are totally free, which have all kinds of inspiring motivations and mantra challenges going on. So if you're part of any of the Pillai Center communities, that can be your accountability too. So the important part is that you do it. You either are doing it in a way that we've facilitated a free community, or kind of opportunities for you to take advantage of, or you join the paid programs and you get a little extra, right? Like you get the new technique, you get some more attention, you get live calls, but you can certainly do either one. There's a question, can you sign up for mystery school or do you have to get an invite? You can sign up for mystery school. It's not going to open until probably sometime in January, and then the program will start on March 1st. But yeah, it'll be open for anyone. Any other questions? Anything you want to know I could possibly help you with? Okay, there's a question on YouTube. It says, I am not sure about the particular job, but I am sure I want something which gives me particular finance and environment. Can I manifest that? Yes, if you know what it is, you can manifest that. So for example, if you you're not sure what particular job, but you know how much you want to make and you know the environment you want to be in, then that's what you'll visualize. Oh, I want to be taking home this amount of money. You visualize that in your paycheck. You visualize how that feels to have it every week or every month or however often you get paid. You visualize the environment you're working in, the type of people you're around, how it feels to be there. You're just visualizing, you're just imagining, seeing the whole thing. And again, infusing that with Shreem Brzee or Arakara. That's another good mantra. So that's what you want to be doing for your manifestation process. If you can conceive it, you can, or yeah, if you can conceive it, you can manifest it. It looks like I'm not able to see all the chats on. Oh, here we go. Someone's asking, can you suggest another mantra with the same power of Shreem Brzee? Yeah, I mentioned Arakara. Om Namah Shivaya is one of the first mantras that Dr. Pillai taught us, and that also can help you to manifest. Those are the two that come to my mind in terms of manifestation. Question, is playing mantras not in the presence generally useful other than Brzee also? Try to understand what that means exactly. Is playing mantras not in the presence generally useful? Yes, if you're not present, like not at home when it's playing, you're still filling your space. I put it on and it's just on. So when I'm leaving the room or the house, it stays on because you want it to, like Dr. Pillai says, you want it to fill the air. You want it to always be there. Then when you come back, it's also just this nice, soothing kind of surprise almost that it's there and it welcomes you home. So yes, you want to play the mantra all the time, whether you're home or not. You want it to be filling your home, filling your walls, like permeating your space. It's a new technique and suggestion from Dr. Pillai. Any other questions? Ravi is asking, can you speak a little bit about the new Varahi mantra Dr. Pillai has proposed? So this Varahi mantra is the mantra, it combines with Shreem Brzee. So that one is great if you want to use or kind of access Varahi. Varahi, Dr. Pillai called her the goddess of 2020. And she is a performer goddess. She helps you to manifest. And she is a fierce form of Lakshmi. So she can give you not only like the prosperity that Lakshmi can give you, but she can also give us protection. She can protect our health, our wealth, our well-being. And if you see her, she has all these weapons. So she's basically Mahalakshmi. She's the Varahi who can provide us with, or the goddess who can provide us with this just fierce protective energy. Also want to mention the Astroved calendars are available. You can download them or you can purchase one to be shipped for you. They're literally just, we're just charging the cost to us. So I think it's just a tiny bit of money to download and then like $5 to ship a physical. I love the physical calendar. I can't live without them. So I always suggest that if you can get it. Let me see if I can reach mine. Okay, any other questions? Yeah, here it is. So it's really beautiful this year too. And then here's Varahi on the back, which made me. So you can see all her weaponry. And that's what makes her so amazingly powerful. Like, look at all the weapons she holds. And she's just here to like help us manifest and protect us from negativity. So yeah, if you want to access her, the best mantra is the one that Dr. Pillai gave out for her. Om Shreem Brzee Shri Swarna Varahi Deviye Namaha. Okay, question is, how do listening and chanting the mantras compare? Is chanting better? There are many mantras that are difficult to pronounce. Good question. If you cannot pronounce it, listen to it until it becomes something you can pronounce, or just continue listening to it, right? That's okay too. So if there's a long, if there's a long mantra and you're just not comfortable, then just listen. Yeah. Or you stick with ones that are pretty simple, like Shreem Brzee, where you can more easily listen or chant. But it is better to chant it if you're able and feel and you're comfortable with the pronunciation. Because what happened when you're listening to it, that's one thing. Your body is just listening. It's more of a passive interaction with that mantra. When you're chanting it, it is now becoming part of you, and you're now getting closer to the energy. And not only that, the vibration of the mantra is literally flowing through your cells, because when you're chanting it inwardly, you're manifesting it from the inward out. When you chant it out loud, then you're creating the vibration of the mantra that then is going through all the cells. So that's really powerful too. When you're writing it, you're taking it from the ether and making it manifest. So that's why there's different ways to use the mantra, because they have different significance and different ways in which it will benefit you. Okay, so there's listening, it's the most passive. Then there's chanting inwardly. We're going from meaning you're not chanting out loud. It's still impacting you. You're generating at a more subtle level. There's the chanting outwardly, like out loud. Now you're generating the actual vibration of that mantra into the physical realm, and that helps it energize your cells. And then there's the writing of the mantra, which takes it from this ether, the energy field, into a physical form, which is how your manifestations work. You take it from a ether, the energy, to a physical form. That's manifestation. So that's why writing is so powerful. So you want to do all of them if you can. If not, you pick and choose as it's available to you. The worst practice, the only bad practice, is not practicing, right? So don't get tripped up on which is better or worse or what, but the one you're doing is the best one because you're doing it. And then if you are establishing a practice, then you're able to get better at that as well, because you can improve and continue and add to your practice. Question, how many mantras should we chant on 2020 to improve ourselves? As many as you can. Dr. Pillai has mentioned that, you could do 1 million. The goal should be to do 1 million mantras. So maybe we create a goal to do 1 million Shreem Brzees in 2020, and that would be your personal goal. And maybe we can host a challenge on that, like what it would take to chant 1 million mantras in a year, right? Like, I don't know, someone do the math. What's 1 million divided by 366? And that's how many you would need to do during each day. So anyway, that's the big goal, right? The big goal is 1 million mantras. The small goal is 108 times per day. And that's just true with every day, every year. And the more you can do, the better, especially on full moon days. So if it's a full moon day, you want to do 1,008, at least, Shreem Brzees, or writing Shreem Brzee on full moons. That's also very powerful. That's why we have those Western full moon fire labs, where the person doing them, it's often Sucharita. She does 1,008 offerings and reciting of Shreem Brzee, because when you do it during the fire ritual, it's even more powerful. When you do it with other people, it's even more powerful. So we're expanding the way in which it'll impact you by adding elements that make it more profound, more powerful, more magnified in the energy and the result. So being by yourself is like level 1. Being with a group is level 2, because now you're magnifying the power of the group. Doing it with a fire ritual is level 3, because now you're adding, like, calling upon the divine beings and the offerings you're putting into the fire that make it even more significant. That's why, and then doing it on a full moon is level 4, right? Like, so that's why we've done these full moon guided fire labs, so you can have the most impact on your full moons. They happen every month. You don't want to miss that, right? You want to be able to really do the bit, like, access and leverage the energies that are available to us, so that we can really make strides. I mean, here's the thing: we want to make a difference in our life. We want to shift up, level up. How do you do that? Dr. Pillai has given us techniques based on time energies, based on mantras, based on frequency, sound frequency. So what can we do? The best we can possibly do is to align what we do at certain times with people in a way that makes it the most significant, most powerful. And that's why Pillai Center puts together the programs and packages that we do, because we're trying to give you access to we're trying to give you access to transform as quickly as possible. Nothing we do is random. Our only goal here at Pillai Center is to create programs and services that help quicken and accelerate your manifestation process, so that you can live happily and joyfully and abundantly. And like I said in the webinar, that's the purpose of, and that's how we can change the world. The more abundant and happy and prosperous we are, we change the environment, literally. Okay, Shweta's asking, there are so many Varahi mantras, which one do we chant? If someone can type in, that's on YouTube, the mantra, Om Shreem Brzee, Shri Swarna Varahi Deviye Namaha. That's the one Dr. Pillai gave most recently. And it's not hard to say, since it's all pretty simple mantras. You just have to remember it and repeat it. Kunal is asking, want to ask that when I do meditation for a new home, visualizing Dr. Pillai explains having it and use emotion in all 5 senses. Confused, should I visualize having it or buying it? Either the one that you visualize, such a good question, thank you. You visualize that which brings you the most joy, okay? If it's buying it that you feel like, oh my gosh, that's the place, or if it's having it, oh my gosh, that's the place. I've personally, in the past, when I've manifested homes, I've visualized having it. The buying process was just getting to the having. Okay, but if you're really turned on about the buying process, then that's what you want to do, whatever brings you the most joy and most passion. But for me, like I said, I've always visualized having it. What was it like to live in it? Where was it? What did it look like? The qualities that it had, what, you know, how I felt being in a particular home, and then I would manifest it. Yeah. And then using the mantra, infusing that visualization, either with the meditation is another good one. There's so many good mantras from Dr. Pillai, and they all work. Again, it's back to what works best for you. Any other questions? Anything else while you got me? Oh, thank you. Judy typed in the Varahi mantra on YouTube. Okay, another good question. Do you know if there is an affordable or travel spiritually throughout India? We are actually going to be planning some India trips in 2020 that don't involve Dr. Pillai, and so they'll be a lot more affordable. When we have trips that involve him, they cost more because we're paying for his accommodations, and not only that, but we're paying for his time and his energy exchange, which is invaluable. So, but throughout the year, we will be starting to have other trips. In fact, we have a company called Brindavan Mystics, which is an Indian travel company. We'll be redoing the website and making packages offering that you and your friends can come any time of the year and take a naughty remedy trip or a 9-planet remedy trip or a karma busting trip, or you plan your own trip and we'll put it together for you. And it's quite affordable, depending on where you're going and how much travel is happening within India. So yes, more plans for 2020. Another question is, I visualize myself in Paris having fun in Disneyland because I want to go there. Please guide me more. I'm not sure what else you need to be guided, because it is, if you are, it's the same formula for anything. If you're wanting to buy a house or get a new job or go to Disneyland in Paris, it's all the same process. You're visualizing what it likes, what it feels like, what it is, being there in that environment, how you feel, who you're with. You're visualizing that, and you're infusing it with your emotion, your passion. You're getting really clear about it, and then you're using the mantra for manifesting. So that's it. That's the formula, folks. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're attuned to it and you get very specific. Like, dream it in detail. Dream it in detail. And emotion. Yes, so there's a question about the travel. Write to us, office@pillaicenter.com, and we'll hook you up with the travel company. It's live now. Like, we already have a travel company. So if anyone is interested in going to India, forming your own trips, bringing your own groups, we can accommodate all of that. Write to office@pillaicenter.com, and we'll hook you up. Okay, question. Will there be events with Dr. Pillai in person in 2020? Yes. So far, there are 2 events planned with Dr. Pillai in person. One is the trip to India. That is going to be January 30th through February 6th. He will be present for 2 sessions, seminars, and so that's in India. And then in San Diego, the weekend of July 4th, which is Guru Purnima, the full moon of the Guru, he will also be doing a live session there. Those are the only 2 in-person events that are scheduled with Dr. Pillai this year. That's why we're also planning for and scheduling Guru Purnima, full moon of the Guru, as quickly as we can, so that we give you as much notice so that you can plan, because we know it's a lot to travel unless you're local, and to save up for hotel and flights and all that stuff. Okay, any other questions? If you're interested in the India trip, there is a link to that. You just go to pillaicenter.com, and there will be a banner on the homepage. Just click on that, and that'll give you all the information about the India trip with Dr. Pillai that's coming up January 30th. And you can register. And if you have questions about that, just write us, office@pillaicenter.com. We are going to need to wrap up registration soon, or at least know who's attending. So if you have questions, write to office@pillaicenter.com. Any other questions, comments, suggestions? Okay, looks like we're wrapping it up. Thank you so much. I am so looking forward to this new year and implementing all Dr. Pillai's teachings that we just talked about, and this new program that we're going to be hosting, immersing ourselves. I'm the type of person who really needs accountability and assistance. So that's why I like hosting these things, because it helps me stay accountable, and I have to learn more. And then, in order to facilitate creating community for all of you to kind of make these changes. So I'm really grateful for my participation as well. So I hope to see you in the program. January 1st, again, is when we're going to live stream the session with Dr. Pillai. And yeah, just jump right into 2020 and make the most of it. If you have any other questions, just write to us, office@pillaicenter.com. We're here for you. And thank you so much for joining. I will hopefully see you January 1st. Namaste.
Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem